Hello, how are you? Welcome, welcome. I am...
Oh,
Hi.
I didn't know you were starting. You didn't say it.
Sorry, I was just like, I thought you left because you're like, I'm gonna go get food, I think you said.
No, you told me to wait for your stream to be up.
Well, it's
so I
there,
was
it's up.
waiting. Hi, everybody.
Hi, welcome. For a mess.
I got jump scared.
I am so sore. My legs are completely shot from doing lots of crouching and squatting while painting today. That was my adventure today. I went out and I went painting. I didn't go like painting. I went to help my friend paint her set for her show. And we managed to paint. I basically ended up painting all the bulk colors for the backgrounds. So I just like kind of mass splashed color on canvas and then ditched.
Slap, slap, slap.
Yeah, basically. I like the idea of virtual Casper.
Beep boop.
Now my brain is thinking like, if Casper was in a video game, it becomes one with the digital world.
Meh. See, I'm just thinking about that video I sent you the other day where they had PNG tubers set up for all of their D&D characters, and I'm just like, I wanna do that for our next big like campaign.
It would be so good.
Yeah.
Hi Ash, welcome, welcome.
And it'd be so easy because I could just whip them up similar to how I did your PNG tuber that you're using right now, where it's like, yeah, just draw their eyes closed, draw their mouth open, and then slap them into the PNG tuber software, and then like it would look so professional and cool because every character would match, but they would also like bounce and talk.
The Tar's stream keeps lagging. Is it a me end or is it them end?
I'm not seeing lags on YouTube, so it might be a Twitch thing.
Ooh, might be a Twitch thing, yeah.
Well, then clearly everybody should just go watch the YouTube.
Yeah, true. If Twitch is acting a fool, it might just be a Twitch thing. But it seems to be okay on my end. It's a little slower than it normally is. But it should be fine. But we have lots to do today. Or lots we can do today. I wanted to get through to the trial.
Oh, also you're not secret streaming.
Yes, true. I should stream. I want to finish the trial
Because I want to
today.
listen to it while I'm cooking.
The goal for me today is finish trial, and then if anything additional to trial is just like gravy. In my logic.
Gravy.
I might be having gravy right now, which is why.
What? Oh my god. Chat, he's been eating takeout like all week, and I'm mad. I don't want takeout all week. Well, joke's on you. I'm gonna get Chinese food tomorrow, probably. Unless it's raining. It's been rainy all week. Let me look at the weather.
It has rained here the last 3 days.
Yeah, it's been, like, I looked at the forecast at the start of the week, and it was supposed to rain all week, and it has done so. What, Zelly Belly? 95% chance of rain today,
Okay.
but only 30% tomorrow.
You made yourself cold to do gelato? Listen, my mom was like, man, it's so cold outside. It's so cold outside. I'm outside in like shorts and basically a t-shirt. My like sweater is like only covering part, like just like my chest area. I have it like rolled, the sleeves rolled up.
Hold up.
And
Toronto weather today. There ain't no way she thought that was cold.
the wind is really bad. I would say the wind's bad. But like, in her defense. But it's such a shirt. Everyone outside, and everyone is wearing like jackets and long pants, and I'm like standing there in like my shorts and a t-shirt, and I'm like drinking a milkshake. Everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, I don't know.
It's true.
It gave a small nod in reply. We're jumping like right into the deep end today. I'm so happy for it. But how are you doing, Lindy? Welcome, welcome. I guess before I say anything further, I should say, if you're happy watching this on YouTube, if you consider dropping a like, commenting, or subscribing, it makes the YouTube algorithm not hate me a little bit less. And you know, algorithms hate people in general these days, so it'd be nice. That means you could like support the channel, and then I can do this more, and I won't have to like. I was gonna say paint for a living, but I didn't even get paid today. This is all charity work for the school, so you know. Yeah, it worked out. I had fun. I got to see the kids perform a little bit today. For me, it was very clear that idea of like the kids who really committed were so good, and they really like shone on stage. But the ones who like were embarrassed or like didn't want to commit, like they definitely were not as strong. God, the backdrops do look really good. So please just send me pictures.
Ooh.
They look solid, chat. Hiding from something in Repo got gifted to me relatively recently. Repo is so good, but I will say,
I love Repo.
I will say with a passion, I was hesitant for this, but I think mods are really good for Repo.
I love Repo.
I think one of my biggest gripes with default Repo is the inconsistency in the shop, and the fact that you can kind of like, you still have an inconsistency within it, but you're able to kind of like optimize your route a little bit more by making certain choices, knowing that you can at least guarantee certain things to always be in the shop is really nice. Lindy was gifted a copy of Repo recently so that they could play Repo. No. I think the only gifting you could do that would that's a relative threat to me, Zatara, is gifting in Overwatch and gifting in Rivals. Yes, Katie. Actually, Katie, are you here?
What?
Do you want to talk about the Repo patch that you're excited about?
What?
The Repo patch.
Do you mean just the guns?
Yeah, so they're adding like turrets and stuff to the cart that you can use. Among other things. It looks really, really good.
I saw a video earlier today. I don't know if it was... I think that they're just playing the beta, because I've seen other stuff of this group playing the beta, but I saw a clip where they had a vent that you could actually climb into, which was pretty sick.
Repo but Among Us?
Yeah. That's
Dude,
the joke
wait.
they made.
A vent, like hiding spot, would genuinely help me deal with my least favorite mob in the game, and I was so here for that.
And the vent was lifted up off the ground so you could get away from the fucking gnomes.
Yeah. Well, do we know what the moon phases do yet? Chat or Katie?
What?
Apparently they want to add moon phases. Like the moon.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know what moon phases are. I just don't know, like, I've not heard of that, so I have no idea what that is.
Wait, Zatara, is that you on YouTube as well? Or is this a different Zatara? I was like, wait a second. Is that also you?
Zatara 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, there's a oh, it's SCA Zatara. I was like, Skaz Zatara? Skaz Zatara?
Ska Zatara, you know, she likes ska.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the viewership on YouTube. It does help the YouTube channel. And if I get enough viewership in a year on YouTube, then we can get free emotes on YouTube as well. And you can have, like, subs and stuff on YouTube. Oh! So every 5 levels, they plan to raise mob difficulty based off the moon phases. Interesting. I actually like that. I think that's fun. Because we got to level... We're in the double digits now on our one run. We haven't been able to play for a week because Nick was away.
11 or 12.
Yeah, Nick was away for a week, so we didn't get to play like consistently for a while there. But theoretically, it's like supposed to be harder. And granted, I will say there is an abundance of mobs in the like the next phase of the game in like the double digits, but like it wasn't like, okay, I will say it's hard, but it's not impossible. It feels like we do have a very good build running with us right now.
Well, the mods also help because we wouldn't have nearly as many upgrades without mods.
Yeah, like we have
Okay,
enough strength and weapons. Yeah, we have enough strength and weapons where we're doing okay. So, okay. Take a deep breath. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions, couldn't stop speculating. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, clunk. It came to a sudden stop. So, I know who did the murder. I could not tell you how we solved this murder, though. I remember nada. What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with. Good, good. You're raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Nope, not at all. Okay then, let's get this show on the road.
Thrills, chills, kills.
Everyone, please find your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate. A deadly class trial. Alright. This is the only one I'm going to overwrite. Okay. So, we've acquired some new skills. That seems pretty good. Yeah, we only have melodious voice trance breathing technique, which I think is really good. Recover more quickly. Bullet time battle is probably one of my worst options. Chat, do you remember which one bullet time battle is? You had a hard time creating mod starting Gale. We used a Thunderstorm mod manager, and that was pretty easy for us to get all the mods working. Like Nick just gave us a code, and it was like, oh, good, done. I think I'm going to cut Melodious Voice. This might be a risk because it is more damage. You know what? Let's run this. I also want to refresh myself with the truth bullets. So we know CHIHIRO died. We have the estimated time of death. The locker room dumbbell. Mondo's account. That's weird. Yeah, Thunderstore I don't think even needed to register our Steam files. It just kind of worked like super easily. I don't know. Card reader, the main hall, right? So we can borrow those. Yeah, Leon's handbook should not be broken, but it doesn't turn on. We said that Chihiro seemed like she kept her distance. The coffee stain, right? So we know that the things were switched between the two change rooms, probably to some degree, including the poster and all that. Okay. Screw it. Hitting the wrong statement. Oh, true.
With a basic explanation of the class trial, so your votes will determine the results.
Is it where I get to see your sister snacks as I share in games? Nice. Apparently, Anime North is coming to my city, and I'm like, there's a non-zero chance that I could like go to that one year. It's just like it's just far enough where it's like annoying to get to, for me at least, without a car. But maybe one year I'll go.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon.
Okay. You have to prove what the murder weapon was. Nice and easy.
CHIHIRO's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Yep. It did change your username, Zatara.
Blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Oh. Okay.
CHIHIRO's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been? I bet it was an iron pipe.
Of course. I should have waited one more sentence. It would have been very obvious who was going to say that false statement.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yes! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack. Did he really kill Chihiro? New element? Absolutely. Okay. Well, I'll take you for as long as I can have you, Lindy. Your ship boats will disappear if they hit these lines, so they think of them as obstacles in your debate. Okay. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting away. Press the right mouse button to attach a silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. Okay. If your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. Oh, it's free tomorrow? Oh, okay. Sorry, Lindy. My bad. In which case, you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Okay. I should have done easy, guys. I should have done gentle. Oh, God, I'm so bad at this game.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it.
Oh, God, that was... Chat. Hold on. We're gonna run that one back, because that one was me not understanding what the controls are. I thought I've been playing Freya in Overwatch, that's why. God damn it. In Overwatch, when you hold right click with Freya, you still have to press left click to actively do the thing. But clearly in this game, you just have to press right click. But I was assuming I had to do both. So that's why I right clicked to aim and then left click to fire, but I had already fired to get rid of the pink stuff, missed the pink stuff, and then proceeded to fire my actual bullet into the white text instead, because I was trying to find. Okay, that was awful. Oh, I need to set skills again. Okay.
Let's speak if you
Okay.
I'll punish. Okay, let's talk.
Okay. Here we go.
CHIHIRO's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been? I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, that's wrong.
You really need to use a slowdown. You can't
Can
just
we
hit
agree
those.
That the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime?
Oh.
It was covered in blood.
Yeah, we already did this. We know this.
The victim's head is as far as you.
If you although
Okay.
what? Chihiro the fiend.
I can reread this sentence because I missed it as well. Okay. Got it. Cool. Easy. Okay. Let's get rid of the nonsense.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
No, that's wrong.
Sorry, Asahina. I'm sorry.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
Oh.
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now.
Yeah, okay. Whatever you say.
More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Wait, hold on. Did he say boob lust? Wait. Hifumi did say boob lust. I walked away to get water, and I come back to. I heard boob lust while I was away. God damn it! I hate Hifumi. The positioning of the body.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it?
And you, because you were reading about it. Just saying.
There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
Oh!
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a second.
Me.
Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle.
Oh my god, this man.
Why is this gotta be so complicated?
I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Uh-oh.
Now I understand.
God, I was like, what the fuck is it trying to make me spell?
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
That's
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere.
not a
in the
good word to
file,
put in this
too.
game.
They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing to his behavior. Her behavior changed.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine, I'm fine. Whoa, is that dead buddy? Are you dead? And then she started laughing. Right. She must have hit her head real hard when faded. The world that has a front and a back, a top of inning and a bottom. Sea of truth, a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
Yep. That's the little detail.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
And when I let Genocide Jack have control, I'll drive out the killer, to drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Toko was afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her, of killing even more people.
Bum bum bum.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation.
Thank you, Zatar, for giving us up to evocate.
Interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time.
Also, I'm glad to know that all the different Persona streams and all the different gifts do technically work now. They should all technically work. Man, these 4 gifts are actually really cool. I'm sorry, like they're kind of sick. Anyways, I'm getting distracted.
And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
No, we technically have not seen the multi one yet, Zatara, on stream, because I updated it after the last time you threw multi gift subs at the. Okay, there it is.
Persona!
There it is. Ooh, it does look real good. It's not fully animated like the show, but it's from the game, and it looks great. Damn. Thank you, Zatara, for giving us up to Cutie Kiki, Joris TF, WHM Jackson, Pepper, and Killer Maverick. It looks so good, though. It looks so good. Ah! Oh, you started the hype train. I love it. Okay. Yes, the next event for Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be Street Fighter team up, which is so funny because Overwatch has their Street Fighter team up happening right now, which is I think so cool. And I'm so here for Street Fighter team up in Wilds because they had one in World, and I really enjoyed the one in World. I used Hadouken to wake up a monster like an idiot, and I'm proud of that.
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
Oh no!
You said you wouldn't tell anyone. What?
Oopsie.
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to.
God, this is like I see the logic with him telling people because it is for the sake of survival important he does tell people. That being said, he was trusted with private information and then outs this person to everyone else, which is kind of a dick move. So he's a dick, even if he's valid in trying to protect other people. But that's not why he's doing it. Like, that's the thing. He just wants to solve the murder. So it's like, if he had more of a moral obligation, I might be more willing to forgive him for this. But this man is just a dick. Give Igni for the Witcher event. Dude, the Witcher event was so good. I loved fighting the Leshen and the ancient Leshen in The Witcher. Like, such a huge fan of those fights. The Witcher in World. Sorry, the Witcher crossover.
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
Lesha was tough by itself. I can imagine it being worse with the... Yes, the Ancient variant is... Okay, I will say, before Iceborne, the Ancient variant was one of the hardest fights in the game. Like, Extremith was the hardest fight in the game. Then I would say it was, like, Ancient Leshen was, like, up there. And then it was also, Arc-Tempered, Xeno'jiiva. And, those three fights I loved doing because I thought they were hard, they were challenging, they were fun. And your boy beat, Arc-Tempered Xeno'jiiva before Iceborne. And got the armor before Iceborne, because I thought I was super proud of that. And I did beat Ancient Leshen before Iceborne as well. Extremith, I did have to wait until after Iceborne, because, oh, that fight is hard. I'll be honest, I really, really hope they bring back another Final Fantasy collab in Wilds. And if they bring back Final Fantasy collab, I'm begging them to bring back the Dragoon armor, because that armor was one of my favorite things in all of World, and I tried to use it as long as I could. And I am hoping that they might drop like a Sephiroth longsword, a Cloud Buster sword, like for greatsword, and I would learn those weapons to use those weapons, and it would be so satisfying. So if they do it, I'd be happy. Couldn't get past the Snow Shark World. Once you get to Iceborne, your old armor becomes obsolete so fast. You really need to upgrade as soon as possible, because then the second you have any form of armor in Iceborne, it's going to be like miles above whatever you had before. Why the hype chest? Thank you, Zatara. Hold on. You open the hype chest. What do you got me? Wait, that's so good. Dude, look at this emote. It's so cute. A chocobo skin for a secret would be amazing. Oh my god, it's free. Oh, that would be more reason to get Wilds. God damn it. I don't have Wilds yet. I'm waiting for it to optimize a little bit better, but ooh. Final Fantasy crossover would make me want to get the game. I'm just so Final Fantasy build right now. I really should just play Final Fantasy on stream and just find time to play with you guys, because it's just so in my head right now. I'm desperate to play it. The only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that.
Oh.
But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
What?
Person? You don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the room, but the next second...
Hello there. Is it me you were hoping to see? What the heck?
I would hate to be I would hate to have to stand next to her.
Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Mandu's like, what the hell?
What happened to you?
Not
Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
Dude, Genocide Jill is so unhinged in like the best way. I kind of prefer Genocide Jill to Toko.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie.
Satara, what that tongue do? Yeah, you're not wrong. What that tongue do? My younger sister's been playing Final Fantasy VIII Remaster. Obviously I have Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I am so here for. I'm also very tempted to play Final Fantasy X. I just know these games will likely take a long time, so I'm hoping that I can get it done over the summer. But depending on how things line up, it could either be more clunky or less clunky. We'll have to see.
I'm here with tacos.
Tacos.
Yeah.
Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun.
This is what the Genocide Jack. What this is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question? What's up? Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that? Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds. Just kidding.
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid?
I love that response from Monica. We're like, you think that's a me? I am not that creepazoid. Like, no. You had hibachi miso salad?
Mmm.
I can't visualize the image, but it sounds good, even though I just ate.
And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death.
No.
There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing secret would be revealed.
True.
Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
I forgot about this.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Dude, that tongue though.
Expect any of us to
Yep.
believe you.
It's just, I can't. It's all I'm focusing on now.
Never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some details about all of this. So while Eleanor's in Warframe, oh god. Do I want to know? Maybe, maybe not. Status of the dead body? Why do I have 2.5 hearts? Why am I like so low HP? I went back and I fixed it.
You saved that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Pretty sure it's the last one.
Yeah, I think so too.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
Oh, I almost hit the pink.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah.
There's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Well then, garbage, let me tell you.
Murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to CHIHIRO? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
Chef Boyardee.
This is no creation of mine.
God, I forgot it. This game has no right to be this like. It's so like on the nice point for me. Like it's wild. It's crazy. And yes, it would make an amazing D&D one-shot, Zatara. I definitely don't have this in my back pocket for later. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god, I would be feral for a Danganronpa D&D one-shot.
Yeah.
Well, let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
One clear difference between the murder and the other photos from the other. Just look at the neck and the stomach. The victim's fatal injury.
For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But CHIHIRO died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
Guys, here's like, dude, I'm getting hungry.
Usually
Stop it.
The difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
Not by the knife, not by scissors to the wrist, but by wire. It was used to suspend her.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to
Big Makoto.
Not Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
All men, baby.
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Now let's see. There's a pattern showing that you said Jack victims and CHIHIRO didn't fit. If you look at the names of the victims, what you'll notice is, I think I figured out. CHIHIRO was a girl.
Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo, bullseye, right on the money.
Bingo, bullseye, right on the money. I remember that
I've heard
one.
that quote a bunch of times for some reason.
Ah.
I think it's used on like TikTok.
Yep, that was on TikTok for a while. I remember that.
Yeah. I forgot that that was from this game. It's one
Yeah.
of those things where I just heard it a million times,
Yeah.
and then when you see it in the game, you're like, oh shit, that is from this.
Bingo, bullseye, right on the money. Dude, I actually did that audio.
Game series is so good, dude.
I did that audio, actually. I did that audio. I'm like thinking, like,
That's probably why I remember it so vividly.
yeah, because you heard me edit it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
Look at that baby face on the left.
Yeah, he is literally a Pixar child.
Yeah.
They were all guys?
That's right. The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men. I can't believe I said it. I'm so embarrassed.
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it. I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the movie side of me just hates it.
What?
But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged man madam.
Oh,
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute
I said he blew out her
reality
vocal
of the
cord.
one and only.
We get it. You've clearly
You know-
explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it.
I know.
I didn't want to talk over him. She is giving, what the fuck is her name? From My Hero. Blood Lady.
Toko.
What?
Isn't her name also Toko?
Are they both named Toko?
Hold on.
Are they both named Toko?
It's Toga.
Toga! That's
It's
what it is.
Himi.
Yeah,
It's
she's giving-
Himiko Toga. That's why my brain.
giving a lot of Toga energy. I never really made the connection before, but they kind of very much seem very similar.
Yeah. Himiko Toga. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, there's no way they're both
Toko,
Toko,
yeah,
but
yeah,
like I
yeah,
can't think of her name.
Pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do. I definitely see the Toga vibes.
Yeah.
It's a different matter entirely when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lolicon!
Lowly, cur.
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect.
You dumbasses.
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell? Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Isn't this when she whips out just two pairs of scissors?
I don't just use any scissors.
scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Bingo.
Are you sure about that?
I
She's fully equipped,
forgot.
so I can go anywhere, anytime.
I forgot. She just whips out. Oh, that's crazy.
I know that this is a hot take, but I kind of like her a lot.
Dude, Genocide Jill is a great character.
But, I mean, I like the whole package,
Yeah.
personally. Like, Toko is bitchy, yes, but they've revealed here that she's bitchy because she's got trauma.
And she's trying to keep people away from her.
Yeah. Like, be undesirable so that people don't get close to me so that I don't hurt them.
Yeah. Jeez, she's such a good character.
She's a really cool character.
Yeah.
Bingo, bullseye, right on the money.
Bingo, bullseye, right on the money. Dude, yep.
Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side?
Yeah, literally she pulls out 4 pairs of scissors. And
Go
just,
ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you.
God, I love her.
Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
Huh. See, I thought she positioned the body.
What's going on anymore? Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Reveals final form, literally. Hold on, there is one person who could copy Genocide Jack cases. The person who read the file, mister. Boop-a-doop-a-doo.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
In the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Huh? Suspicious. Nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was CHIHIRO, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
I love going toe-to-toe with Byakuya here.
Yeah.
New element? Oh god. A truth flashback? If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, Then you'll memorize that weak spot. Memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. Ooh, this mechanic. You seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction. If you might have to memorize the weak spot. Oh, this is the mechanic I hated. Okay. Okay, in this case, though, say you don't use a flashback, he won't be refuting anything. Okay. Good luck and have fun.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room...
Hifumi, stop!
Absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Blech.
Okay, so this is a situation that always gets me like thrown away. Is it could go either way here. I'm not sure if I need to get before we discovered the body and then shoot that Chihiro died, or we get Chihiro died, but it was like because the two sentences contradict each other. I guess should I always assume that I have to get the first sentence first and then I don't wrap around?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room...
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
We're just gonna run and
Was
hope.
Chihiro, who was a girl.
No!
I was right! Yay!
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak. Huh? What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. Got him a corner, but he's acting like he has nothing to do with it. Like it has nothing to do with it. Okay.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it.
Thanks, Kyoko. Would you like to chime in? Because I'm doing a lot of fucking work right now.
We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean? ...
The differences between this case and other Genocide Jack cases. My brain is trying to remember the cases and the differences, but I can't place them all. Okay.
What? The difference between the cases? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Ah!
Obviously, somebody else must
Fuck.
have had it hidden.
Oh,
away
you
somewhere.
missed.
I didn't press space. I was slow and...
The difference between the creatures? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Boop.
No, it's wrong.
Got him.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Then Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
Taka, boy.
That's
There's...
really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
I remember the first time I played this game, I genuinely thought he might have done it. Because I was like, you know, he's being really fucking fishy, he's being very confrontational, and it's interesting to have a trial where you are, like, actively dueling with the person the entire trial that is the actual killer when you know you're not. Like, it's a very interesting situation to be in. Like, Leon in the last trial was like, he said a lot of stuff, he chimed in, but he didn't, like, he wasn't going, like, blow for blow with me as much as Byakuya was here. Which I thought was really interesting if he actually was a killer.
I think the trials are set up so interestingly because, like, they keep you on your toes. Like, the whole time, you're refuting evidence. Like, you're making claims that are correct, but, like, it keeps you on your toes. Because, like, at first, at the beginning of this trial, it was like, oh, yeah, Genocide Jack. Oh, it's Toko. But now it's like, now your focus is here. But, like, it's just cool how they structure these, and it, like, actually feels like a real discussion rather than, like, something scripted.
Especially a discussion passed around by, what, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds?
Yeah. Or they're all accusing each other and stuff.
Yeah, like, this feels like that real kind of back and forth. Especially with the people who, like, mumble and, like, talk, and, like, they're saying shit that doesn't actually matter.
And they make stupid comments.
And they believe the first thing that gets said. Like, all that stuff is so real.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not involved, wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally
Sorry.
to do something like this to win.
I don't disagree. So I agree with agreeing. I don't disagree with not Toko! Bingo bullseye right on the money, please.
Bingo bullseye right on the money.
Oh my god, my head can't wrap itself around that. Okay. He kept calling skin rights and he totally really do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. was it just not something done right? Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girl's locker room, but does that mean... Can I really accept what the doctor said is the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something about what he just said. Frick. Oh, no. Oh, God. I don't remember what he just said. I was too focused on reading it to you that I didn't process what I was reading. Oh, crap. What did I just say? Okay, I said... So he was saying that he was the one who killed her and posed her body in the girl's locker room. But that doesn't make sense because the scene of the crime.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right?
What are you doing?
Making a quick save.
Oh, saving. I guess that's fair.
Just because I'm scared.
But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
Oh.
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown.
God damn, that man.
She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene?
Mm-hmm.
That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Did I take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up until now, Byakuya never realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Switch between the boys and the girls' locker room. We know the poster was switched.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
Because every one of the...
Massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the
I gotta
boys'
say,
locker room had
I am jealous of her ability to make that really high-pitched cackle laugh. It is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is such a good laugh.
a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado.
Also known
Again,
as...
that doesn't really seem to belong in a boy's locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Protein coffee? While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet.
Sweetie, I'm glad it came in at a picture of a big boobed supermodel.
But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
She said, Lindy, I don't disagree with not disagreeing. Not disagree with disagreeing. She said, I don't disagree with not disagreeing, which is why my brain was confused. It's not the stain that was scrubbed away. It was moved. Boom!
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too?
Yes, ma'am.
But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
Yes. Yes, the serial killer in this game who said I don't disagree with not disagreeing as a quadruple negative just to fuck with me. And I can't get out of my head.
In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
Hey, Noe Lara, welcome. It takes you back. It takes me back. I beat this game right before the pandemic, so my brain is like trying to remember information on like no sleep, and it's keeping up somewhere, somehow. But I'm doing it for now, barely.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the carpet bother doing that? Huh? Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
Side note, absolutely in love with the background music.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I adore the music in this game.
I'm just gonna be quiet for like 2 seconds. Just listen. It's just so interesting. It reminds me of like old GameCube game, like background music for like a game I used to play when I was younger. It reminds me of F-Zero GX music, and that music was fucking bangers. It was great. Anyways,
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
yes, we know that she could have. Because Byakuya told us the answer, and I'm pretty sure Hare actually does know how to do it, because he's always spending time in the front foyer. Okay.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her. No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
I know it's broken, so I have to hit the it's technically incorrect. I technically have information that it doesn't work.
I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I'm struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked her, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts glaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook.
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? Chihiro killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya's the one who did it? Really? I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second.
And this is where
I
Kyoko
agree
saves the
with you,
day.
though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get
Hi,
in?
Zelda.
There's still one other way she could have gained access.
Hi, kitty babe.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're
I
doing?
love Monica was like, what do you mean? Huh?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Sweetie.
It'll make
Stop it.
things
I
more
didn't do it.
exciting?
I'm not the killer.
Then I declare an official class
You're
trial
the killer?
recess.
Keep saying Makoto did it.
For real?
Meh.
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before I even knew what was happening to the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was... Doo-doo-doo.
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like
What?
using our hands? No way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body. It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Yeah, okay.
Very well. I'll do it.
Sakura not even afraid.
You're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
Oh my god.
The shipping?
Not it at all.
I mean, I do ship Asahina and Sakura pretty hard, but...
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Put your hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began quietly examining her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
The scream! The scream!
Impossible. It's not possible.
Sakura was staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
Is what?
a boy.
I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
Right?
Whoa!
Joke about this.
Ben,
I love the idea aspect of the soccer. Like, I wouldn't joke about someone who's clearly trans. Shut the fuck up.
True? Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy.
At birth.
Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
At birth. To think Chihiro was actually a guy at birth. The thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion.
What's the correct term for Chihiro then, Katie? Because
Well, it's an interesting circumstance because technically speaking, this is a slight spoiler territory. I don't know when this comes up, but technically speaking, Chihiro is a cross-dresser, not literally trans. So
yeah.
the fact that they switched pronouns kind of works, but also they probably should have just kept with she just to respect what Chihiro wanted to be called. But like, technically speaking, Chihiro is not canonically trans. A lot of people headcanon it and be like, oh yeah, trans queen, blah blah blah. And like that's fine. Like, but technically speaking, the game doesn't treat Chihiro as trans.
Right.
It treats Chihiro more as like someone who wears drag all the time, which is still queer representation. It's just different queer representation.
It's a different queer representation. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because I remember it being, at least in terms of this game, I remember it being not necessarily 100% clear when I first played it.
Yeah, it's very much the notion of dresses in drag because of personal reasons, not necessarily
Yeah, fully
trying to like transition to being fully girl. So that's how the game treats it, but like it is very transgender adjacent. So of course, like people are going to view it as trans and relate to it, and like that's fine. Like that's great.
Yeah.
But like the pronoun thing in the game is a little confusing and weird because it's like it feels disrespectful to switch the pronouns, and like I kind of agree that they should have like kept the pronouns as she just to respect Chihiro's wishes. But like
Yeah.
technically they're not really misgendering Chihiro because Chihiro is a cross-dresser technically.
Yeah. When did Danganronpa come out?
Hot minute ago.
2010. Okay.
Yeah.
So not like super old, but like still not fully cognizant of things that were different at the time. Like
it was before like terminology really started picking up.
Yeah.
Like socially. Like obviously trans people have existed for a long time. But I know like when I was, because that was when I graduated high school. Cough cough, I'm old. And I don't remember knowing that much information about like terminology and pronouns and all that at that time. It kind of like slowly developed over the next few years. where not like developed, but like became more mainstream. That's more what I mean.
Yeah.
And now everybody knows about it, really.
And like, okay, and here's another question, because it came up earlier, because the word to determine the DID on Toko was it had a hangman's gambit where you had to determine the word, and the word was schizo, which I assume is reference to schizophrenia. I think they were just shortening the word because they couldn't do a hangman's gambit with schizophrenia.
Yeah.
It would take too long.
Well, that's also technically incorrect. So like that definitely didn't age well at all. Whereas like Chihiro is a little bit weird, but like that is like
that one I was like, that's
because,
incorrect.
Dissociative identity disorder and schizophrenia are two completely different like disorders.
Yes, that one I was like, that's not correct and potentially offensive, right? Am I not wrong?
Yeah, that's definitely something that didn't age well and was not correct.
But I know the Chihiro situation was at least a little more complicated than it was like led on to be.
Yeah, like technically speaking, the game isn't really, in terms of like the actual character, the game isn't really doing anything wrong. It's more just like, it would have been better if they kept using she, because then that would have been like a better representation for like transgender people. But
then he says in the console version that they use DID as the hangman gambit.
What they used here, that's cool. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, like that's what they should have done, because it's like that's literally the correct disorder.
They could have. Well, they said it's DID, but they used schizo as the hangman's gambit for it, which doesn't make sense. So like, it would have been interesting if they updated the PC version to just replace that one aspect.
Yeah, they probably should have, but it is what it is.
Yep. Anyways, back to the game.
The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Olga or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
Yeah, Lindy confirmed. I watched someone on YouTube play it, and they used DID on the console version. Good to know. So glad to see they adjusted it for when they later released it on console.
Yeah, they just forgot this version.
Yeah.
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is a most titillating situation!
Oh my god.
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
Oh my god.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
Bye, Lindy. Enjoy trivia night.
It just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as
Like he's your
correct?
teacher.
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
Yes.
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the
He
truth.
censored it.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
if you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is...
Oh god, I hate Byakuya. He's making it harder on me. God damn it, you stupid fuck.
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
I think it was this moment I was hoping it was hair that did it.
If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true.
Mind freak. I should have called him mind freak.
I'm with you too.
Meh.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Nope. He does not.
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Yes.
Anyway, let's
But Andrew with
discuss
really
this all
questionable hair.
one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
How is it standing up in every direction that distance?
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
No, it's kill and survive. Who killed Chihiro? Want to be sure that we know about the killer. How dare questionably his coolest hair? No, he does not. You can't say anyone besides Sakura has the coolest hair, because if you say anyone besides Sakura is better at anything, you're gonna die. The killer is a guy. Since the crime scene was in the boys' locker room, you wouldn't need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Dan's handbook apparently broken, the killer would have to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But still's not enough. I need to find some more clues. What is that sentence as? He clearly uses got to be glued by Schwartz. Okay.
Might lead us to who did it.
Clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
Shut up!
No, it's wrong. I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him. Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of
Makoto.
you had no
Makoto.
idea, did you? That is why you're all making
Her
such
speech
ugly
patterns remind me of a
noises.
character from Jacob Tutu that I watched as a kid, and I love it.
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag. But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry. Why would you be in a hurry unless you were going to
Chihiro
meet
told
someone?
me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
Otherwise, you could just train by yourself. Nice and
was on
easy.
his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Oh, what a marvelous friendship!
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No, you already have what you need to make the connection.
Okay.
You know who the killer is.
Do I?
Seriously? Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on two pieces of evidence that we don't have?
Oh, God.
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say. But fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket? The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Is there some clue about the killer's jacket? Somehow it's really hard to believe. I'm a little lost right now. I don't actually know how to progress. Until you watch it? Oh, okay, As.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Well,
Did any of
I guess someone just outed themselves because they're not very smart.
Who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
Because we didn't say what color was the tracksuit. How would he know what color the tracksuit was? Unless he saw Chihiro that night. Or a previous night.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
Okay, here we go.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Boop. Got you. Sorry, Mondo. You've fucked yourself now.
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
Stuffing a tracksuit into a duffel bag. Then assumed he headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue?
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just...
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
I forgot about that detail. Taka, you're defending your bro. I understand.
Was surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
Oh boy. We have confirmation from Monokuma that the first trial didn't have any accomplices, and I don't think that this trial does either. I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't think it's confirmed to have any accomplices in this trial. Yes. I'm like 95% sure. I'm not sure if we got confirmation for this one, but there was no accomplices for sure in the first one.
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
Nope, it isn't a duffel bag.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket in her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. Just like that, she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag.
Wanted to keep it hidden.
If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
Because I hate him.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the way he was acting, I assume? Nope.
There was a certain turning point that maybe you didn't. You only called guys dude, and after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
Oh, I didn't lose any life for that. I...
Didn't notice such a...
Oops. Yeah, I missed the thing. It was the way he talked. There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude, for girls it's chick. After he was killed, you have to refer to him as a dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful.
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
It's true.
I'm trying to remember
My reasoning on
what
that
happens
is
next. And I
pretty
don't
shady.
know. I'm so like on the. I'm just falling for the ride right now.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh my god! Shut the fuck up, Hifumi. You're not helpful.
That reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
And you've been hiding it this whole time like a little
Really?
dickweed.
What kind of evidence?
Actually, no. Now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then, here it is.
Hmm? What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
It must be Chihiro's.
It's mine!
We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
Yep.
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
Huh?
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
Odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're
They're
right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
By hitting its weak point.
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession,
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness.
Yeah.
You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
They don't want a fair trial, do they?
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break! I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna. The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200
Oh,
degrees.
I forgot.
Don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer
I
of
forgot
air
about the
around
sauna.
If the hot air of the
Oh
sauna were
no, my
somehow
heart.
pushed
I
directly
forgot about the
onto your
sauna.
you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
God damn it,
It's
Taco.
a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Mm-hmm.
meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why.
Mm-hmm.
And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that?
I gotta get two
don't
people
know
who
of anyone
survived the
put their
sauna all
handbook
night.
Into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Seriously?
Oh my god, Hifumi, it's not that exciting. Chill out.
BRB!
Anyway. This is where Taka starts crying. I forgot. Had to be the one who wore all their clothes in the sauna, and it was... Boop, 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 boop. Mondo!
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
Yep.
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember?
Yep.
And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
Uh-oh.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Did I? I did? Uh-oh. I... Don't put words in my mouth there, Makoto. You're making me think I'm way smarter than I actually am.
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
Ho, 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 ho.
If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
Uh-huh.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all. Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly.
It will show that Mondo... The handbook Mondo has actually must be... Oh, it has to be Chihiro's.
Test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well,
No
my
pressure,
goddamn
yeah, literally.
handbook works just fine.
Boop. What?
Shoot!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken,
Huh?
then that proves that what Makoto said
Because
is
it's just
right.
wrong, which is not
Well,
correct.
my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all. Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly.
Yeah, I guess it has to be this combination.
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
I missed.
If
Good.
what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Okay.
No, that's wrong. Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
I was going too fucking far. God damn it. I was too smart for this game.
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
Yup. Didn't involve heat.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Nope. Already been over this.
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit, but no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch. What's wrong, bro? Come on, tell him he's wrong. You are wrong. You have to be wrong. Everything you just said is wrong. You made it all up.
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
I know I'm coming up to the point where I'm going to have to do the rhythm game, and I'm gonna be so bad. Boop. This is gonna be the poster getting spritzed on. Dude, the faces in this are so creepy. I forgot about that detail. That's so good. God, there's so much to this one. Okay, okay, we know that's that. We know that's that. That comes later. Maybe that one? Oh no, this has to be... Ooh, hold on. My brain's finally working. That has to be the girls' locker room. Yaki is the one who finds the body. Who gets the extension cord? Does anything else fit in that spot?
I return. Oh.
Trying to figure out the
my
origin.
phone upstairs.
Hold on. I think this needs to go here.
I guess I'll go get my phone. Rip.
Killer is you.
Okay, let's just run it.
Oh, wait, I want to watch the comic.
Yep. Okay.
I'll go get my phone after.
I think I might have it.
Last night, Celeste saw CHIHIRO.
Oh, I'm stressed.
At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag.
Hey, they went back to she/her pronouns.
Yeah.
That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, CHIHIRO headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him.
I was right. Okay, cool.
It's likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell,
Mm-hmm.
approached the unsuspecting CHIHIRO, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came
Yep.
from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster.
I was right. I'm so good at this game. I'm so smart. Dude, I'm so smart.
Into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene
Like
in
a
the
dick.
situation, making things even more complicated.
No, I'm good, Az. Don't worry about it. No clips needed.
So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up CHIHIRO's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter.
Oh.
Aww.
Shoot. Oh, this is bad. Oh. Got it.
Here's exactly what happened. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that
Corn
right,
hair.
Mondo Owada?
Wait. No. This can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence? You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him.
Evidence of Mondo's code that already revealed stuff also early in the trial. If I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now, once we do that, everything will become clear. New element. Okay. Fever and Nega time? During the bullet time battle, if you press the space key, Fever time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. Oh. At this point, if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. That's really helpful. So you can just push right button however you want to destroy the opponent's verbal assault. But this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. Okay. If only you get to access the special time, right? Uh-oh. So you've also prepared something called Nega Time where your opponent can use... Okay. If the opponent activates Evil Time during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. Oh. If you activate Fever Time at this point... Sure, nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Huh? Can you? Your action difficulty is set to gentle. Opponents won't use negative time. Well, then good luck and have fun. Okay, great. I'm going to suffer.
As I have.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. You're corrupt. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. This should prove
I just decided, screw it, I'll just activate it during this and just see if it breaks. It didn't break, so you know what? We're gonna do that next time.
Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
You don't gotta do that.
Oh, Mondo.
Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
A, B.
Everything's great until it's not.
Yeah. I'm really bad at the last thing. I'm good at everything else at this point, I think. I'm just really bad at specifically the rhythm game. Hey, that's 81 coins for later.
Ayo.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I don't entirely remember the why Mondo did it. But I remember it being sad. Oh, this time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed CHIHIRO Fujisaki was Mondo Ueda! In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're training very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
Oh, why are you apologizing? Why did you do it? Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf. The story of murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward the text. So we're going to do that. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was CHIHIRO Fujisaki. He had extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and bury himself further and further into that weakness, take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He'd chosen that as his way out. Now, nobody will say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken its roots deep inside of him, and he was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak. Weak. Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which of course included CHIHIRO's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dressed like a girl, CHIHIRO is actually a boy. And that was something CHIHIRO couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it'd be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair. And yet...
I'm sorry.
I didn't really want to talk about it right now. But also, I don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm gonna get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. Without that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so, that day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body, but sadly, that'd be the first and only chance he would get at it. When he decided to start exercising, he thought it'd be good to ask for someone's help, but he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to, yeah, it was me. Yep, it sure was! The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he made to Chihiro. Huh? What he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep a secret? Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook, see? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed. Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why did you? Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. A possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone? It's impossible. How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, you obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while you're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory of the secret he didn't want anyone to know. You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join the gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang, and before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, #1 in the gang, and his #2, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. But then when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created the gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gospel whispers of the other members of the gang, which is why I gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once, just one time. No matter what, I gotta win. I don't care what it takes, I gotta come out on top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly, Laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Dai never blamed him for what happened. Hey kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team, you and me, put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang in order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone it was his own weakness that had caused the accident, and as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who bested his big brother. Dai was going to lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Strong. And yet, as soon as our killing game begun, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I'd have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I'd been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why Mondo, after I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled with all kind of fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling around. Never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while, that fuzzy feeling, the fuzzy uneasiness, turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that CHIHIRO asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus. I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now are you telling me all this all of a sudden? Because, I mean, you've kept it a secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong. It can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should be able to just tell everyone my secret?
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of CHIHIRO's strength. I had the strength to face his own weakness to try to overcome it. It was the kind of strength I never had. So I was jealous of him, and that jealousy broke me.
Why?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now?
No.
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I feel like I can hear something starting to crack, to creak, something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back and let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Why did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face? No, I really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah,
that's right. I am strong. I'm strong. Strong. Stronger than you. And I'm stronger than Daya. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand and I was just staring at him down on the ground. Hey.
I killed him. I killed CHIHIRO. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He's normally so aggressive, so angry. He had that weak side away from him, from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it. Look at him, you see? You're all just like him! For a secret from the past, for a memory, for that he killed another living human in cold blood. We could cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't. You bastard. Just shut up, you son of a bitch. Go ahead and say that again, I dare you. Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. Is what I want to say, but unfortunately I can't do that right now because time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing? You mean an execution? That's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disturbs the peace will be punished. Ridiculous. Hold on. No.
I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Owada, the ultimate biker gang leader. No, wait.
Let's give it everything we've got.
It's punishment time. I said wait.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Fucking Monokuma's hair.
I forgot Monokuma got hair. And not a corn left of Mondo.
No corn.
I forgot he
Why they made
became
him into
butter.
butter.
I forgot he became butter. That's so stupid. I hate that. Oh my god. Ugh. Laugh at death and your soul will be forever at peace. It can't be. My brother. Another murder and another execution? I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I think I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again, but he, of course, he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game. Byakuya. You're completely insane. You know that a game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do, because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I have nothing to say to you. I don't have a response except that
However,
I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? It's obvious, because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
honestly,
So you ignored the nighttime rule too. The rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
there is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. You mean you actually witnessed the murder? Such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him.
Well,
So you're saying you knew the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if it had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up? So after hearing about the genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene. But damn, man. If we hadn't figured out who really done it, you'd been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before reaching that point. Of course. Byakuya turned to me and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did. and I was able to perform an interesting experiment. Once I do decide to become blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for.
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes. We're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next! You'd like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is why? Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair is not just for you. All this punishment and all this despair is my gift to mankind itself. You're over-exaggerating. I'm not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope into despair. What do you mean? 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 Mean, 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 mean. Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every stupid little thing. Whatever, doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me. Ah, the noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship. Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you. Understand?
In the name of my family.
For which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up.
Ooh, so cool. It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Temper, temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtains closed on the case of Chihiro Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now. So just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
I forgot about that detail. I forgot about that detail. I think I know who that was, but I don't recall 100%. I'm glad we're replaying this because I don't remember shit. And now we got the crazy diamond present. Well, that was the goal, to get to the end of this chapter. So I guess we'll call it here. Thank you everyone for watching. I will leave that cliffhanger and whatever other nonsense we get up to from there. If you happen to making that video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing, because then you make the little algorithm machine do things a little bit faster for me, which is always a good thing to make sure that we can get to things like emotes and other perks on the channel. But besides that, thanks for hanging out. Love you all. See y'all real soon. Let's go.